Hi everyone, my name is Robin Speziale and I am the national best-selling author of a book called Market Masters. In this video I'll be talking about Benj Gallander and his point tally system for investing in stocks. In Benj's book, The Contrarian Investor's 13, now he talks about this point tally system. It's on page 15 of that book. I also interviewed Benj Gallander for my own book that I wrote called Market Masters. You can find the full interview. You can get it from your local library or on Amazon or amazon.ca. So Benj Gallander, he runs an investment newsletter here in Canada. He invests in Canadian and US stocks. His investment newsletter is called Contra the Herd, and you can go online to contratheherd.com. And there you can check out all of his returns going all the way back to 1992. And you'll see that his 15-year annualized return is 16%. His last 5-year annualized return is 22%. He's done pretty well. And as the name implies here, he is a contrarian, and a lot of the picks that he makes, most investors, probably wouldn't buy into some of these companies. He's definitely a deep value investor who looks for companies that can be taken over. That's one of the qualities that I've seen in a lot of his picks. So we're going to go through Benj's point tally system here. From the very first to the last, and what he does, he has points for each of these metrics that I'm going to list out. And what you can do, like if you have a watch list of 50, 75 stocks, and you're not sure, which stocks to invest in, this point tally system could be a framework that you can use. You can add to, you can obviously conduct your own due diligence, but you can set up in a spreadsheet. You can put all the metrics in one column. You put all the points in the second column, and then you would actually, pick a company like, let's say, Photon Control, and you'd pull up Photon Control, you pull up all the material you need to, judge its stock performance, its management, its financials, its product, services, etc. And you would apply these points and then total them up. And once you do that for all the stocks in your watch list, you can determine, which stocks pass the test. So these are Benj Gallander's metrics, and we're going to talk about the points now. So recent downward share price spiral. If he sees a spiral in the share price, he would give it -1 point. Single, double, triple, quadruple price upside. So if he sees any of these, he would give the stock a +1 to +4 points. Negative margin of safety. He would give the stock -1 point. Is the stock likely to undergo a share consolidation, so slow down in its price appreciation? He would give that stock a -1. Does he see good or excellent management? If he does in this company, he would give it a +1 and then +2 for excellent management. Does the company have management who owns shares in the company? And if he sees that, +1 or +2 for significant share ownership. Is there insider trading in the company? He would give either -1 or +1. And if he sees insiders selling, he would obviously give it -1. If he sees insiders like management or buying, he would give it +1. Excessive versus equitable executive compensation. So if he sees excessive, salaries and options, etc., being doled out to management, he would give that company -1. High research and development expenditures. So he likes to see high R&D, which is a sign the company is investing in its future, +1. Favorable demographics, if the company serves, he would give it +1. Excessive or reasonable debt, he would give the company -2 to +2 points. +2 obviously would be for a good capital structure and very little debt, or no debt. Dividend payout. If he sees a company is paying out a dividend, he would give the company +1. A positive financial condition, +1 or +2. And that's really based on your own due diligence and assessment, a ballpark. Amount of time followed by analysts. So he'd give the company +1 to +4 points. Book value. He'd give the company +1 or +2 points. Does the company, the stock, does it have a reasonable price to earnings multiple? So he likes, to invest in companies that have fair valuations, and for the most part, obviously he looks for undervalued companies. He would give that stock a +1. Is the company operating in a downtrodden industry? He'd give the company a +1 if so, because again, he is a contrarian. And is the annual report, is it readable? Does it make sense? Is it clear? +1. Public awareness about the stock, +1. Excellent cash flow. You give the company a +1 if so. Our understanding of the business, as Buffett said, always invest in companies in your circle of competence. He would give it a +1. Possibility of a takeover, and I had mentioned this before. I've seen a couple of the companies he invests in do eventually get taken over, and the price appreciation can largely be attributed to the takeover acquisition price. You give it a +1. And then finally, intangibles. Are these good intangibles that could actually be worth more to a possible buyer than what's actually shown on the balance sheet? So these are all the metrics and the points associated to each metric as part of Benj Gallander's point tally system. And of course, conduct your own due diligence, but you can always incorporate these metrics into your own stock investment research to help you narrow down the stocks that you eventually do invest in and keep in your portfolio. Hope you enjoyed this, guys. Happy investing and talk soon.